I see how people struggle, and I just keep thinking, gosh, why me? Why am I so lucky?
I know I'm strong, and I am free, got my own identity, so fear you will never be welcome here.
Hello, and welcome back to my channel. There is something that I wanted to talk to everyone about today that came up for me maybe yesterday or in the past couple days, but I talked about it this morning on my morning walk with my husband. I got my chemotherapy last Tuesday, and today is Monday, so this is, day 7, and I'm feeling really great. And I think that's why this topic came up for me, and it's the topic of foreboding joy. And I heard of this term many years ago. I have read this book, Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. I've read a lot of her works, followed a lot of her videos on YouTube, not just beyond her TED Talks. I mean, she has at least 2 or 3. She has like 5 to 7 books. I've probably read most of them, but she studies vulnerability and shame. That she was initially a shame researcher, and I think I learned more from her than any of the other things that I've learned in my life, at least about understanding our own thoughts and feelings and what those really are. And she brought up this term called foreboding joy, and on her book, in this paperback version that I bought many years ago, on page 117, she said it's a form of shielding, or a form of armor that we put up to protect ourselves. And she says 3 forms of shielding that I'm about to introduce are what I refer to as common vulnerability arsenal, because I have found that we all incorporate them into our personal armor in some way. These include foreboding joy, or the paradoxical dread that clamps down on momentary joyfulness, perfectionism, or believing that doing everything perfectly means you'll never feel shame, and numbing, the embrace of whatever deadens the pain of discomfort and pain. So I would say I've definitely practiced foreboding joy and perfectionism, and I have been actively breaking those things down for quite a while. Been breaking those things down. Perfectionism is it's a hard one, guys, but I've definitely worked on it. In here, she expands on this idea of foreboding joy that I wanted to talk about today. She says, work is going well. Everyone in the family is healthy. No major crises are happening. The house is still standing. I'm working out and feeling good. Oh shit, this is bad. This is really bad. Disaster must be lurking right around the corner. She also went on, she was on OWN with Oprah in 2013. She did an interview, and she mentioned ask any parent if they're watching their sleeping child. But for me, it was, when I knew I loved my husband and how much I loved him many years ago and just how wonderful he was for me. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I love him so much. He's so wonderful. Like, I can't believe this person exists. And then I would get really sad and think, oh my gosh, what if something happens to him? And that's foreboding joy. You have this wonderful feeling, this joy of something that you love or treasure, or this gratitude that is going on, and then you ruin it with disaster as an armor to protect yourself. Like, what if something does happen? Well, then maybe I need to pull back, or maybe I need to change. Your mind starts to try to distance yourself from the joy so it won't be as painful. And that happened to me recently with cancer and my treatment. I was thinking over the past couple days, gosh, how lucky am I that this happened this way, that these medications didn't impact me, even though I'm incredibly sensitive. It's just so random to me that this happened. Like, I thought if anybody was going to have a bad reaction, it'd probably be me, but I was like, let's just wait and see, stay open-minded. And it wasn't that bad. And now I'm sitting here thinking, I'm pushing these thoughts out because this is foreboding joy. What if it's not working? What if it should be really terrible? Maybe it's not doing its job. Shouldn't it be breaking me down more? And I'm foreboding joy. I'm very grateful that I didn't have to experience some negative moments like I've heard in what people think is going to happen. I mean, we were prepared for the worst. And that's not what happened. It could still happen. As I get more treatments, it could get worse because there's going to be obviously more breakdown of my body over time. This treatment's going to last 4.5 months. So it could happen. But it's just, I got to take it day by day, and I got to enjoy the joy that I have and that didn't happen to me, and just be thankful for it. And I don't know why that happens to other people. I hate that happens to other people. I hate it. As a nurse, I hate it. I see how people struggle, and I just keep thinking, gosh, why me? Why am I so lucky? Why am I so lucky that this is happening to me, and I see what happens to other people, and it's not fair? I don't know why that happens. And then you feel guilty. You feel guilty that this is happening to you and that other people might be struggling even more. And that's all foreboding joy. But I am going to be grateful for what has happened to me. I don't know why. I'm hoping it's because of how I've cared for myself. I'm hoping it's because of the knowledge that I've sought out over the years. But I don't know that. I have no idea. I'm just going to take it day by day, and I'm just going to be grateful no matter what happens, because I do know it could be worse. It can always be worse. It's not fair, and that does make me feel guilty, but I'm still going to try to be grateful that that's not happening to me, and it'll just make me be more compassionate to other people, because you never know what people are going through. You just don't. So that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what's been going on in my mind, this idea of foreboding joy. And I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to be grateful, and I'm just going to be kind, and I'm going to be open-minded to what anybody is experiencing and how they might be presenting themselves in those moments, because they could be fleeting or they could be chronic. We don't know. So be kind to people even when they aren't kind, because if they're not kind, that just means that they're not healthy. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that they're evil or whatever. It means they're very unhealthy. They're either unhealthy in their mind and or unhealthy in their body, and that's how it's coming out in their personality or character. So practice compassion, be compassionate with yourself, and have a great day.